All right, now we are live over here at the Stick and Move podcast, guys. Sorry for the slight delay, but Sam and we are going to go ahead and talk today about our current top five pound for pound after the Canelo versus Jamal Charlo
Yeah.
beatdown or fight.
hmm
I don't know if we want to call it a
hmm
fight, but we're going to give our top five. We're going to go from five to one, worst to best, which, if you're pound for pound, you're top, you're one of the best, right?
Yeah.
So let's just go ahead and get started. Sam, give me your number five. Who's your number five top pound for pound as of October 2023?
My number five right now is Tyson Fury.
All right, talk
Yeah,
to me.
Tyson Fury, 33 24 KOs. Um, I mean, he's undefeated, bro. And there's nobody that I could see now or in the future, right now, no heavyweight in my eyes that I think can beat Tyson Fury. With the trilogy he had against Wilder, you know, um, he proved that he was the best heavyweight because I mean they had Wilder as being one of the best, hardest, punchers in the heavyweight history.
Yeah.
But Tyson Fury, smashed that, and he's fond of Klitschko. He's, in my opinion, he's gonna beat Usyk,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody has knocked him off. That's I got him as my number five.
Yeah, man. Can I be honest with you, bro? I have him also at number five, but I struggled, man. I really wanted to punish him for his inactivity and for taking this fight with Nagano,
Yeah,
which I really wanted to punish him, but it goes back to exactly what you're saying, bro. I don't think anybody can beat him. Like you said, he took. I mean, they're calling Wilder's punch the hardest punch of all time, and
yeah,
he took it and he got up twice from it on his first fight. What was it, the ninth and 12th round, if I'm not
yes,
mistaken? So I wanted to punish him for his inactivity because you and I in this podcast, for those that have watched and everything like that, know our history, and we appreciate you followers. Dude, we always talk about activity, how precious and how important that is, especially when it comes to boxing inside the ring, and even, you know, committing to fights as often as possible.
yes,
And the fact that he's been on such a hiatus, I mean, I get it. I think he knows that nobody can beat him. I think he knows that there's no conflict, that he has no challenge. And but I had no choice. I have to also put him at number five. Go ahead.
yeah. I totally agree. I mean, there's nobody that I've seen so far that's gonna give him any competition. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, he has a perfect record. He brings in he has his fans, and he's the king of the heavyweight division, and everybody knows it.
Yeah.
And will he have competition with Usyk? Honestly, my opinion, no. I
Yeah.
think he has too much reach. He has a stamina. Nobody can question his stamina. The guy fights 12 rounds,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's number five, man. Solid.
I mean, do you really think? Well, how tall is Usyk? I'm not even really sure. He's going to compete with a guy that's 40, maybe 50 pounds heavier than him. I mean, that would be illegal in any other boxing division category. That would
Yeah.
not even be sanctioned in any other kind of fighting. I mean, that's similar to UFC in the 1990s, brother.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think that fight should happen, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and go to your number four. Talk to me. What is your number four?
My number four is Enoya Inoue.
All
He is
right,
my
talk to
number
me.
four. 25-0, 22 KOs. He went up two weight classes when everybody thought it was stupid of him to do it,
Yeah,
taking a title from an undefeated champion.
right.
Smoking him, bro. Look, the reason I have him my number four is because we also base it out of styles.
Mm-hmm.
His styles. His style is beautiful, bro. The
Mhm.
what he did to Nonito Donaire, I mean, the guy, knocking him out clean. I mean, there was nobody that was competition for him, and I mean, even the greats like Floyd and Tank and many people have Mike Tyson. Many people have him as a pound for pound fighter.
Yeah.
And as long as he's, I don't see anybody right now in his division that's gonna beat him. He has to move up and wait to get competition, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
To get competition. He has a great style, great defense. The guy hits hard and right, and I mean he has the whole country behind him. I mean, anyway, bro, I could have put him even higher, man, but I couldn't with the other dogs that I got. But I got in 08 number 4.
Listen, bro. Watching Inoue, there's something that's happening when I watch him. It's like I'm watching a new era of Pacquiao. Okay, whether you love Manny Pacquiao or you hate him, I don't know how anybody can hate him. He's such a nice guy, but whether you love him or hate him, Pacquiao, in my opinion, was probably the most exciting boxer who ever lived. Okay, maybe with the exception of Hitman Hearns, but that's a conversation for another day. Another day. When I watch Inoue fight, and I remember leading up to Fulton, I was about maybe I knew of him. I watched a few of his fights, but I wasn't really that familiar. And can I be honest, man? Kind of like Tyson Fury, I don't see how anybody in those bantamweight divisions can even challenge him ever. And I mean, it's all up to him, of course, if he has that control. But dude, like, I don't see how anybody in that division can even challenge him. And like you said, he has to go up again to go all the way to fight Tank Davis at what, 135?
135?
Yes, give or take. So, or at a catch weight. I mean, at what point are we gonna start calling boxers to, you know what? Let's slow down a little bit. It's okay to rule the division for a while, but I don't know, man. I just think when I see Inoue fight, I just don't see any challengers. Kind of like Tyson Fury. His style is exciting, and he has a great resume. I mean, he is not my number 4. I think that's a little too low for you, to be honest. But I'll hold my other thoughts on Inoue for you for when I get there.
Okay. Well, so right. Who's your number 4 then?
I'm gonna go with Devin Haney, my number 4. Now, I know how you feel. You're like Devin Haney's number 1 fan. And to be honest, I love Devin Haney too. And he checks all the boxes. Okay. He checks all the boxes. He does the activity. He challenges everybody. I know. We've talked about him on this podcast numerous of times. But I think he's catching these boxers at the right time. I think he caught Lomachenko when Lomachenko had 1 foot in, 1 foot out, distracted with the war. Am I giving them excuses? 100%. He got Kambosos as a lucky, to me, Teofimo's worst night as a pro ever. Now, granted, yeah, you got to win the fights. I understand that, but I just don't know. Like with the Kambosos fight, he dominated all 24 rounds, not even close. But I just don't think Kambosos is the guy. Then there's Joseph Diaz. I think I never really had respect for his game, to be honest with you. He got wobbled by Linares. He got wobbled by Gamboa. I mean, when he takes that next step to fight Teofimo, to go ahead and fight, maybe he wants to go to 140 and see what he does there, or even go back down and go ahead and fight Tank Davis or Ryan Garcia. Well, I don't know about Ryan Garcia, but Tank Davis, until he takes that upper step, then I could throw him in higher. But look, he's number 4, man. It's not like I'm saying he's not even top 10. He is number 4. Okay, I have a tremendous amount of respect. Go ahead. I know you have a lot to say.
Okay, well, just so I can go off of that, Devin Haney. Well, he is my number 3.
Okay.
Devin Haney's my number 3.
go into your number 3 then. Go for it.
Yes, yeah, Devin Haney is my number 3. 30-0, 15 KOs. I understand that.
Yeah.
But yes, wobbled by Linares, wobbled by Gamboa. But dude, he dominated. He dominated those fights. He beat Cambosos twice in Australia.
Yeah.
Took the titles. He fought Loma. Loma didn't do enough to beat him. All right. He, I mean, the guy's been calling out everybody. Is he is the guy, bro, honestly, that all these fighters came to him, Jojo Diaz, whatever. I mean, look who he's fighting next. Regis Prograis.
I agree.
mean, that guy is active, which we said is another thing that we were looking at.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, he's undefeated. He's a champion. Nobody's beat him. Nobody's knocked him out. As long as that's look, the only two people that I think that are probably a threat to him is going to be Tank Davis, which I don't ever see that happening, and Shakur Stevenson.
Right.
Because Shakur Stevenson's IQ.
Right.
But other than that, bro, Devin Haney, nobody. I mean, he doesn't run. He doesn't duck anybody. He's taking all challenges. He's called out everybody. He's called out Ryan. He's called out Teofimo, and he's my number 3, bro. Best top pound for pound fighter in the world today.
I actually, to go on now, because I know you're on number 3. I was on 4 to number 3. To go on to add on to what you're saying, I will actually also say this. I do like his comparison to Pretty Boy Floyd. His comparison reminds me of that a little bit. I think if they were to fight each other, I know fantasy fight, I think Pretty Boy Floyd would clean the mat with Devin Haney. But I compared that style to the Pretty Boy Floyd more versus the Money Mayweather, which we're not really talking about. Because I do like that when he does get in a fight, he does try to stay in the center of the ring. That is his style, and I appreciate that. But to give him the accolades, yes, he does go to every single fight, and after every single fight, he calls everybody out. He reminds me of a lighter version of Boo Boo, right? But I just think he's catching these champions at the perfect time. I think Lomachenko was a scary fight, but I think it was strategized. I think that was handpicked for him, where they sat down and they're like, you know what is the best fight for you to look good and also, keep you in the top contender range, to give you that respect. And I think they chose that instead of going after Teofimo or going a class below or at a catchweight with Tank Davis, which I don't even think Floyd Mayweather would let him do anyways. I don't think Floyd would let him go down or do a catchweight anyhow. But I'm cool with your number 3, bro. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, just to finish off on Devin Haney. I mean, dude, he calls everybody out, man.
He does.
He calls everybody out, sign the contract. Let's do it. Let's get it on. Look, dude. I swear I just saw him fight, and now he's fighting again. Right. And nothing but great fighters he's fighting up against, bro.
He is working his way up. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I understand he's had his struggles, but until then, he hasn't lost. He's undefeated. He's a champion, and I mean, I like his style. He does kind of like get caught towards the end of the fights, but as for now, he just can't. He hasn't been beaten. Can I see him getting beaten? Yes. After what I saw with him in Loma, yes, he could be beat, but nobody's done it.
I agree. Now, are you ready for the cage rattler, my brother?
All right. What's your number 3?
And we're probably going to lose a lot of subscribers on this call, but I'm going for it. And by the way, if you guys are online with us right now, go ahead and leave a comment. We'll respond to you guys. We appreciate the love and everything. All right. So my number 3. So I went number 5, Fury. You went number 5, Fury. I went number 4, Haney. And what was your number 4?
Naoya Inoue.
Inoue, right? And your number 3 was Haney. My number 3 is actually Bud Crawford. Man.
Ooh.
I know. He's the hottest guy in the world right now. And look, I would honestly have him higher. But here's the difference. And not to give away my number 2, but my number 2 is actually Canelo because it goes hand in hand, in my opinion. Everybody's talking about it. You and I did an entire episode on it. What if Crawford fought Canelo? What if Crawford goes all the way to 168? I got to be honest with you. With the Canelo I saw against Jermell Charlo, I don't think anybody's beating that guy. Okay? I want to go back to Crawford a little bit before I continue. And I'm actually going to take a page from what you have said. Until he fought Errol Spence, he was fighting all of Errol Spence's scraps. You know what I'm saying? He fought Sean Porter. He fought Kell Brook. He fought Amir Khan. You know, I mean, and he's been challenged. Gamboa wobbled him. The Eastern European guy, wasn't he? Kavalauskas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Actually got him on the ground. Yeah, the Mean Machine actually got him on the ground. And these guys are 140, 147 fighters. Do you think if those guys got him on the ground, that Canelo's hooks and uppercuts and jab is not going to do the same to him? Especially because what I love about Crawford is he goes forward. That goes to exactly what Canelo wants. I'll also say this, dude. And now we got to ask the question, because this is also the question between Crawford and Canelo. Not to leapfrog your number 2. We'll get to your number 2 in a minute. But everybody is picking Crawford to beat Canelo because the quote, the skills pay the bills. But if the skill pay, who's going to win? The skills pay the bills, or there's weight classes for a reason? I want your thought on that.
I think it's weight classes for a reason. Because it is like Max and a lot of Max Kellerman, a lot of people have said the bigger guy with skills beats the smaller guy with skills.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I think Canelo's just too powerful. And does Crawford have great skills? Absolutely. But I mean, dude, Canelo throws body shots, bro, that are heard around the arena, bro.
Well, that's actually the other thing. I was watching a couple of podcasts, and they were saying that people that were actually there at the fight, and there were some people levels up that could actually hear Canelo's punches while people were cheering and booing and being rowdy and everything. I just don't know how a 21-pound weight gain is going to be beneficial, especially if he wants to fight him in September. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, we saw one of the things I saw, we talked about on the live episode last week. One of the things that we saw from Jermell Charlo is that he did not look in shape. Yeah, he looked like, for one thing, yes, I think the lights were too bright for Jermell. He never been in that big of a fight before. I think it was just too much for him. But, dude, he gained, what was it, 12, 13 pounds, if I'm not mistaken, to fight Canelo. And he looked like he gained 12, 13 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Not of muscle. I'll tell you that right now. He wasn't defined. He wasn't chiseled. You think Crawford is going to look the same? Gaining 21, 22 pounds going into fighting Canelo at that range? Nah, I think that would slow down Crawford. And to be honest, I kind of don't even want to see it because you're already hearing the echoes. Canelo, right, does a beautiful boxing performance on Charlo, and like you and I predicted, he's not getting any credit. So why even fight Crawford? He will not get any credit. To me, it's just a resume stuffer for Canelo. But as you and I've talked about, the fans nowadays, they're easy to credit and easy to discredit. Go ahead. So what is your number 2?
Well, okay. My number 2 is Bud Crawford.
Talk to me. Ooh,
my number 2 is Bud Crawford, 40-0 at 31 KOs. Right. The guy is there's nobody else. Two-time undisputed.
Yeah.
You know, true. I mean, did he fight Spence's leftovers? Yes, but bro, the way he destroyed them, bro. was
Mhm.
way worse, man.
Yeah.
And remember, we base pound for pound also on skills.
Right.
The way he fought Spence, bro, was beautiful.
It was gorgeous.
Beautiful.
It was
Yeah, I
gorgeous.
mean, it was a dude, that was a boxing lesson. And
Right.
we cannot discredit that victory from Bud Crawford.
No, 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 no.
Spence was the favorite. Am I
Mhm.
right? I mean, let me know if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I
But
I don't
Spence was,
recall, man. I don't
yeah,
recall.
yeah. Well, I thought Spence was going to win by knockout.
Mhm.
I thought Spence was going to win by knockout. I mean, his style, bro. His boxing technique, the way he, his timing, the guy, his hooks, everything, bro. It was just a beautiful style of fighting. He's 40-0. He beat the boogeyman. He destroyed. I mean, washed Spence, bro. I mean, probably even a career ending.
Right, right.
And two-time undisputed. Bud Crawford is my number 2 best pound for pound fighter in the world today.
Look. I know people are thinking how disrespectful. The guy on the left knows nothing about boxing. I'm cool with it, right? But guys, he's number 3. All right. If I would have said he was number 8, that would have been an issue. Okay. It's just that, oh man, a lot of what you're saying is 100% true. And I agree with you. The lesson that he gave Earl Spence was exquisite. I'm not even going to say gorgeous, it was exquisite. But, if I'm going to put him also against Canelo, against the Crawford, who's been wobbled, right? Him jumping up 21 pounds to fight Crawford. I know this is a different conversation, right?
Yeah.
I
Okay, go
just
ahead.
I just don't think Crawford has. I mean, Canelo's never even been hurt. I mean, he's taken the biggest punches from Bivol. He's taken the biggest punches from Canelo. I mean, from Triple G. And he's never been wobbled one time. The last time he got wobbled was when he was 19, when he fought Cotto's older brother or younger brother. And I just don't. If we're gonna put him there, I have to say that the virtuoso performance that also Canelo put this past weekend or last week, sorry, it just it proves to me that, or shows me at the very least, that he is back. And not only that, but I feel like he's actually enjoying boxing. Not to say he wasn't before, but it looks like he found that hunger again. And I think he has his eye on the prize now. I think he got too rich. You know what I'm saying? Like too big for his, for his personality, Canelo. And I think he was living up to it, trying to go on up and up and up to 175 and on. And I think he's calmed down a little bit. I think he's been humbled since the Bivol fight. And there you go. He's learning something again. After his loss with Floyd Mayweather, he learned something. After his loss with Bivol, he learned something. And now he's on a 3-match winning streak. And I could just see, and let's also count the activity, right? I just think Canelo right now is the better fighter between the two. All right.
Okay.
So
So what you're making a statement that Canelo's your number 2?
he is my number 2. Yes, my number 2. Canelo is my number 2. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I get it, I get it. But like I said, my number 2 is Bud, and I just feel that he's done something nobody else done by being a 2-time undisputed. But I get what
I
you're
know.
saying.
And that's amazing, dude. 2-time undisputed. Unbelievable, brother. So let's go to your number 1. What is your obvious number 1? Or what
My
is
my
it?
yeah, my obvious number 1 is Canelo.
Talk to me.
I mean, bro, what he did. Look, what he did to Jermell Charlo, bro. I mean, he scared another fighter that was taller than him. Look, before the fight even happened, they were saying that Mel was bigger.
I
Remember
remember
that?
that. Yeah.
All of a sudden, the fight, he washed Mel, and now they're saying Canelo was the bigger fighter. I
Right.
don't get it. But I have Canelo right now, 60 wins, 2 losses. I mean, I got Canelo pound for pound number one right now after what he did to Jamel and what looks like nobody could beat him at that weight.
Right.
And I would love to see him. You know what? I was against the Bivol rematch, but I would love to see Canelo versus Bivol at 168.
I would
Instead
too.
and I honestly think Canelo can beat him at 168. Resume wise, bro. Resume wise, you can. I'm sorry, we could lose. You know, a lot of people are gonna hate on me, but you cannot compare these guys' resumes to Canelo, bro.
No,
I mean,
no.
Canelo just. I mean, all the names he's fought him, washed or old or whatever you want to call it. The caliber of the people he fought throughout his career, Mayweather, everybody. Even though he lost to Mayweather. I mean, the resume speaks for itself. When he shows up, dude, he's the face of boxing. He is the face of boxing.
Let me ask you a question that I don't think it's being talked enough, and we're kind of going outside our top five here. But do you think because Canelo is such a controversial figure, you either love him or you hate it, there's literally no in between. Do you think that we are creating a boogeyman out of nothing? In other words,
is he hype?
No. The boogeyman in terms of the Mexican monster or Boo Boo. Because you and I talk about, or actually, I'm sorry, when I hear media talk about Benavidez, they talk about, they make it sound like he's knocked out the best of the best. Like he's had Canelo's resume and he's knocked them all out. That's the impression I get. With Boo Boo, I hear the conversations of, oh, that's the guy Canelo does not want to fight. Making it sound like to me, and if you guys are listening, go ahead and leave on the comments, making it sound like to me for Boo Boo that same thing. He's had the same kind of resume Canelo has had, but ends up wiping him out, and Canelo's afraid of him. And if you look at like Boo Boo's best fight, it's like who against what Quigley, if I'm not mistaken, that's his best, the best boxer he fought, or I could be exaggerating. Or Benavidez finally over the past year, finally fighting somebody of contention and a burnt out Lemieux and a Caleb Plant whose soul was taken after Canelo. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like we're creating this hype just so. Well, now that I think about it, right off the top of my head, maybe boxing is trying to create this hype, knowing that it's not really well deserved, to push up the purse, push up the pay-per-views. Your thoughts? Go ahead. Or am I making too much of it?
No. You're right. I'm gonna let everybody know. I'm gonna let everybody know whether y'all agree with me or not, but I'm gonna say it. David Benavidez is tailor made for Canelo. Out of both of them fighters, out of Boo Boo and Benavidez, call me crazy, call me whatever you want, but the more difficult fight would be Boo Boo for Canelo.
Why do you say that?
Because I think that Canelo doesn't do too well or gets frustrated with guys that use the ring. You know what I'm saying? And Benavidez standing in front of Canelo, bro, Canelo's going to destroy him with body shots. Like he's going to cut him down like a tree, bro. Right. I'm saying it right now. For me, in my opinion, the more competitive fight would be Canelo versus Boo Boo.
I'll say this real quickly, and I'll get to my number one. I agree with you with Benavidez. I think the fact that he has his feet like this and not like this bothers me. Kind of reminds me of oh my God, I'm trying to blank. The guy that beat Jamel and then, or had to draw with Jamel and then Jamel knocked him out.
Tony Harrison?
Right? No, Barrios.
Castaño.
Oh, Castaño, right.
Yeah.
Kind of has that style. And I'm like, man, that's just like too flat-footed. I mean, Canelo's flat-footed too, but he has upper body wiggle,
and power.
And of course, power, right? And so does Benavidez, but I don't know. I think there's some kind of fabrication going on, and I don't know. It's going to make the payday bigger for Canelo and whoever he fights, win or lose. So, obviously, my number one is Inoue. Look, exactly what you said. 25-2. He made Fulton look silly. He keeps going up in weight class. I mean, he beat the guy that, I mean, that nobody thought could beat Gary Russell, and he beat Emmanuel Rodriguez. You know, he beat the Filipino Flash, Donati, twice. I mean,
Twice.
his resume for the bantamweight division, the super bantamweight division, is amazing. He beat Butler when, you know, he was trying to go up again. So, and I go back to this. For me, in a way, I compare it to Tyson Fury. I just don't know how anybody beats him. And the reason why I have Tyson Fury so low, I just want more activity. If you fight at least once a year, maybe I would have him higher. But for Inoue, it's like what you said. He has the whole country behind him. He has the whole Pacific Asia behind him as well. And I don't think anybody can compete with this style. I don't even think he should go up to 135. Why does he have to keep going up? If he does want to keep going up, I think he wants to pursue the Pacquiao, what is it? Eight division titles, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. I think he wants to capture that if he does go all the way up, and that's a hell of a climb. But if anybody can do it, I do think it is Inoue, and I think he takes down anybody in his path, man. To be honest with you, with that style, with his quickness, and let's be honest, he took Donati's best punch,
Yeah.
and he just bled from the eye and kept on fighting. And besides that fight with Donati, the first one, I can't remember seeing him lose a single round, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways, that's my number one. Do you have any final words?
No, I like your pick, man. Honestly, I would. I don't. I mean, it's up to him to go up in weight,
Mhm.
but I mean, there's we talked about it with the whole Bud going to Canelo. I mean, there's weight classes for a reason. I
Mhm.
mean, if he dominates at 122 and 126, maybe maybe try a fight at 130, in a catchweight with Tank or something like that. But
Yeah,
other than that, don't push it.
right,
Because there's only so much that your body can take. And
right,
I mean, look at Jamel. Everybody knew you haven't been tested by a puncher at 168, and look what
right,
it did to him. It
right,
scared the hell out of him.
right.
So I mean, I respect that, anyway, as being your number one.
Yeah. Well,
You
yeah.
know,
So yeah, we'll leave it at that, man. All for you guys watching, go ahead and leave comments. We appreciate everything, guys. And like I always like to say, don't forget to stick and move, baby.